You've heard that most crime is down in New York, but one horrible crime is on the rise.
It is rape. And attacks are rising in all 5 boroughs. Ralph Penz is here now with a special report for us. Ralph?
Yes, Chuck, Sue. Consider first what the police have found. Even as new reports of rapes are coming in, the final figures show more women attacked in New York last year than the year before. Look at this. 730 women attacked in Brooklyn, 364 in Manhattan, 521 in the Bronx, 358 in Queens, 44 in Staten Island. And for many women, it's time to fight back.
He said, lay down on the bed again. I said, no. He hit me again.
I found myself in a dark alley being raped.
He's serving life for brutally raping dozens of New York area women. So many.
I don't even remember these women's faces. If they come to me right now, I wouldn't even know who they were.
Lay down.
Some women are fighting back. This graphic training is conducted by Mount Pleasant Police Sergeant Steve Kardian.
Good. From here, man's on top, kissing, touching improperly.
A woman can often surprise and throw off a heavier attacker, even hurt him enough to get away.
I began to scream and cry, so he took the scarf that was on my head, off my head, and stuffed it in my mouth.
Karen Coleman was attacked by her estranged husband. Police believe the rapist got in from a ground floor window. He came up here to the bedroom where Karen was resting. She heard a noise. She opened the door, and there he was.
He was standing there naked, except for a pair of green plaid boxer shorts, and he had a knife in one hand and 2 black nylon ropes in the other.
He tied her to the bed while cutting her on the neck and face, and then
took the knife and cut off my underwear, and then he raped me. And I couldn't breathe. I just kept thinking I was going to die.
The attacker went to prison. In Manhattan's Flower District, this woman showed us how she was walking to her car in the dark hours when the rapist struck.
He grabbed my arm from behind. Once he had my arm twisted, he forced me into my own car.
Then drove to a deserted Brooklyn street, raped and beat her.
Being bitten in the face and just getting beat up, and I was fighting for my life. The next thing I remember was being in the hospital.
And he got away.
Definitely. So he thinks.
Just help me out.
Sergeant Kardian showing us how some rapists trap their victims. He pretends to need assistance to see if women come to his car in an isolated area of a parking lot. Serial rapist and killer Ted Bundy used much the same sympathy trick. In our test, woman after woman walked right over to the car trunk. Didn't think about who he might be?
No.
Now, this is a deserted area of a parking garage. Would any woman come over if a man called her over and said, here, give me a hand? Oh, yes. Now, just hold it a minute. This is a police officer. Did it go through your mind? What?
Yes, it definitely went through my mind.
What?
I was like, okay.
It would have only taken me a second or so to lift your feet up and throw you in there, tied you up, and took you with me.
Next time I would definitely think twice. You taught me a good lesson.
Would you help me take a package out of my car?
Only one was cautious.
I said I was going to go call somebody from the security office.
Here you did exactly the right thing.
Thank you very much.
I made myself look at what color jeans he was wearing.
If you are raped, you want your attacker captured and convicted. Nurse Karen Coleman advises other rape victims.
So if you can just remember that your body is the crime scene, you need to preserve what's going on in your body. So you should never wash up, take a shower, do not change your clothes. Try not to touch them at all if you can help it.
To preserve the DNA evidence.
If it's a stranger, its usefulness is obvious. But even if it's someone you know, the presence of his DNA in a particular location can corroborate your claim of sexual assaults.
Good elbow strike, and she's gone.
And former Bronx Assistant DA Alvin Yearwood, who successfully prosecuted serial rapist Isaac Jones, makes clear that any woman can be a target of a rapist. Yearwood told me that the dozens of women Jones attacked really came from all walks of life. And if you're interested in learning those fight-back techniques, there are expert trainers like Sergeant Kardian.